It once sat on Little St. George Island as a guiding light for mariners lost at sea. Hi, I'm Trinity Hardy, and today we'll be taking a tour of the St. George Island Lighthouse Museum and learning all about its rich history.
Welcome to the Cape St. George Lighthouse and Museum and Gift Shop, located in the center of beautiful St. George Island. The white tower of the lighthouse and the cozy charm of the keeper's cottage are a warm and welcoming sight to see for visitors and locals alike as they cross the Apalachicola Bay Bridge, approaching the warm sandy beaches of St. George Island. While it may give the impression that our lighthouse has always stood in its prominent location at the center of St. George, it originally called the west end of St. George Island home and has a fascinating history worth exploring. Our museum has detailed maps of the area dating back to the mid to early 1800s to help visitors visualize all of the different locations of the lighthouse throughout the years. The first incarnation of the lighthouse on St. George Island was built in 1833 to guide ships through West Pass into the bustling port city of Apalachicola. At that time, Apalachicola was the third largest shipping port on the Gulf Coast. In 1848, they decided to move the lighthouse to make it more visible to ships, so the old lighthouse was dismantled and reconstructed in the new location. In 1851, there was a hurricane that destroyed the lighthouse, so they rebuilt it in the same location in 1852, but moved it back around 250 feet because of erosion. It stayed in that location from 1852 until, unfortunately, time and tides and erosion took their toll, and in 1995, during Hurricane Opal, the lighthouse got knocked off its foundation and began tilting at a 7.5-degree angle. Ultimately, the lighthouse fell into the Gulf on October 21st of 2005. Shortly after it fell, volunteers traveled over to Little St. George Island and recovered as many of the bricks as they could, and over the next 18 months, volunteers cleaned 22,000 bricks. Those bricks were reused on the inside wall of the reconstructed lighthouse. The lighthouse that you see now is exactly the way the original lighthouse looked. The reconstructed lighthouse was open to the public at the center of St. George Island in December of 2008. The replica of the keeper's cottage that houses our museum was completed in 2011. A prominent display in our museum is a replica of the 1857 third-order Fresnel lens manufactured in France. The Fresnel lens was the most advanced technology available at the time for the transmission of light over long distances. The replica Fresnel lens displayed in the museum is quite an impressive sight to see. The museum also features many artifacts and photographs that were donated to the museum from the Roberts family in East Point. Mr. Roberts and his family were some of the last lighthouse keepers that were stationed at the Cape St. George Lighthouse. The photographs and memorabilia offer a unique perspective to life on the island during those times. Our museum also houses some artifacts from the original lighthouse, including pieces of the copper roof, the original lens pedestal, the copper vent ball, and pieces from the frame of the original lantern room. We also have a lighthouse keeper's uniform that shows what the keeper's official uniform looked like and an explanation of all of the buttons, because all of the buttons mean something different. Also located inside the keeper's cottage is our gift shop. The gift shop has many unique treasures and is proud to feature the works of many local artisans and authors. It is a great place to find the perfect souvenir to take home, purchase tickets to climb the lighthouse, and visit with our friendly docents and staff. All proceeds from the gift shop support the St. George Lighthouse Association and help to continue our mission to preserve and protect the lighthouse and keeper's house, and to educate the public about the rich history and importance of the lighthouse. The St. George Lighthouse Association is dedicated to preserving our history and telling the story of the Cape St. George Light. Please come visit us in person next time you're on the island. We can't wait to see you.
Make sure to visit the Lighthouse and Museum for yourself, located in the center of St. George Island. For a complete list of Franklin County museums, visit FloridasForgottenCoast.com.